What's going on? This is Coach Marcus Pro Fan Talk. One of the things that I have learned in my young YouTube career is when you see the people in the media, the people on TV, ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, all of them, I've become very aware that when most of these people speak in the morning on their shows, on their morning shows, all that kind of stuff, most of them didn't even watch the game. Everybody's getting highlights. You got some production assistant that will shove a page full of notes and then they go off of those notes. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the nature of the beast. They can't watch everything. But as somebody that's in the city that they're talking about and you hear what's being said, but you know what the real is, it is, to me, is just so funny. Heard that this morning on Good Morning Football. I love that show, Jamie Erdahl and that whole crew. But prime example, they're going off notes. Nobody watched the game. Here's what I'm talking about. Check this out.
These are the kind of games, if we're going to talk about just stacking wins, the Chiefs did it kind of ugly and the Eagles did it really ugly. But sometimes that's the kind of team that you find playing in January and you're like, man, how about that win against the Saints in September? It totally turned the team around.
All right, that's fair. This could be a big win that turns the team around. Forget about all the injuries we have. I hope that turns out to be true. But let me back it up just a minute, because here's where it gets funny. When she makes the comment about Nick Sirianni, and I'm like, y'all wasn't paying attention at all. And you could not have watched the Falcons game and then watch this game and have nothing critical to say about Sirianni, which, if you're paying attention, it's hard not to. But this is how the media not necessarily spins it. They're just not going in depth enough with their homework. And it's funny to me, but listen to how she ends it about Sirianni.
Turn the team around. And Nick Sirianni having to work with a lot of different personalities and emotions on the sideline. Sometimes he does some things that I'm very impressed with in terms of managing this team, because it's a lot of big. You see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you sit in a power move on in the media. He's like, everyone come talk to me and I'm going to answer these questions. I thought that.
Yeah. CJ Gardner-Johnson has nothing to do with the decisions that Sirianni made on the field that almost cost us the damn game. So I don't expect it. People that really don't like Philadelphia, they're probably going to get into that a little bit more. So there are some people on TV and on these shows that do their homework. But even with that, some of the stuff, even the criticism, guys like Nick Wright and others, you can listen to their criticism as like, you have a point and you're going to stick to that point, but clearly you didn't watch the game. You watched the highlights like everybody else. And that's always funny to me. And the one thing I try to tell people, do your homework. At least you can do is watch the game. You got to go a little bit more deeper than just the highlights. Highlights are like cliff notes. You lose a lot of context. Sometimes you just got to watch the game. I know they can't do it, but even when you can't do it, you got to be careful what you're talking about, because it sounds silly, especially to the people that are in the city and that really know the ins and outs of what's going on with their team. Go Birds.